Hi everyone, our presentation is talk about family violence. My name is Yee Lam. Let me introduce what is family violence to you. In Hong Kong, total 532 new children abuse cases in January to June this year. It is mainly physical abuse. These children may have higher risk for repeating the cycle in the future by entering into abusive relations or becoming an abuser. And also they may have higher risk for health problems such as mental health and physical health. The last, they cannot reach their full potential based on this problem. And the first two impact may cause more children suffer health problems due to violence. Then let me pass to next member.
My name is Chun Hei. Let's move on to the next topic, holistic health. This model is grounded in caring, relationship, and interdependence. Each includes totally 5 dimensions. They will affect each other. Now I will briefly go through all the aspects of holistic health one by one. First, physical aspects. These aspects focus on human biological status, like eating habit, lifestyle, fitness, and sufficient rest and sleep. Second, emotional aspects. It is talking about the ability to recognize and express feelings and emotions, and maintain a realistic perspective on situation. If we have a good self-esteem, we tend to be more confident in social setting, makes friends easier, and it also turns us to have a better attitude towards our friends. Third, mental aspects. Self-awareness refers to the cognitive aspect of health. That means we will bear in mind that being healthy is important to ourselves, and we will keep thinking more ways to achieve a better health condition. The fourth aspect, spiritual aspect. It is all about your value, belief, and your faith. Give or forgive totally based on your own decision. Nothing matters. We could improve our spiritual ability by having prayer and meditation or reflection. The fifth aspect, social aspect. Ability to make friends and maintain relationship. A best social life needs a person to question their purpose in life or feeling isolated or unwanted. Let's move on to the next topic. What will family violence bring to us? Physical abuse refers to physical attack, like slapping, punching, and fasting. Physical abuse will cause the victim to have limb weakness or drowsiness. This consequence will make the victim feeling depressed and desperate, which will further affect the social life. Since their value and belief have already changed, they will tend to stay away from people and hard to make friends. For psychological abuse, like verbal insults, this will affect victims which will be triggered easily due to the long term of being scolded. Because of the bad mood or attitude, it will affect his mental aspect like thinking in a pessimistic way, leading to anxiety and poor appetite. Poor appetite will cause him malnutrition and declination in immune response.
I'm Yee Lam. Let me talk about nurturing health. Children are the group often punished by beating painfully. The good nurturing relation between patient and the children are associated with the breaking cycle of abuse in family. Nurturing health have 5 components. We will only focus on safety and security, good health, and also responsive caregiving. Because family violence related to these 3 aspects, parents and family members are close to young children. They are the best provider of nurturing care. Secure family environments are important. First, safety and security aspect. It means children feel safe and secure. However, violence causes uncontrollable fear and stress. They may have emotional and mental social adjustment, and it can cause them withdraw socially, learn to mistrust others, or act out their fear in aggression towards other children. It can affect social health, so affect holistic health. Next one is good health aspect. It contains protecting children from environmental and household dangers. However, violence is harming and not protecting. And also it contains monitoring children's physical and emotional conditions. However, violence ignoring children's fear, stress, and crying, and also ignoring injuries, so it affects mental health and physical health. Furthermore, satisfying children's needs. However, our violence ignoring their needs by limiting their mobility or food intake, it affects their nutrition. The last one is responsive caregiving. It means giving affectionate and appropriate response to children. However, violence is not a suitable response. It will affect their emotional health, and also it means enjoyable interaction with children to build emotional bonds. It can help children to learn about people, understand the world and language. However, violence causes the lack of effective interaction, so it affects social development of children. Let me pass to the next member.
Name Wong Ka Yu. So thank you, Ivan and Eileen, talking about what is holistic health and also nurturing health. So I would like to talk about a case study. So normally it's talking about their parents are feel angry with their children, steal and eat the food. So also buy wrong number of beer. But the parents select a violence to so-called teach them. So mainland couple using the terrible violence, but they only got probation order. So how about the children? So what is the effect of them? So it's all about the 7 dimensions of wellness. So there are different kind of wellness, and we will explain it one by one. So for the physical, so it also is a first influence determined from violence. So a violence totally destroy their regular lifestyle to break the physical aspect. So from this case, we may solve the uncommon scar and they will never talk the reason with anyway because they fear the parents will punch them again. So if it becomes a chronic disease, unluckily, so their recovery will use long time, months, even years. So second point, with no doubt, psychological will get the biggest affections to children, also the biggest attack. So for example, the ongoing anxiety and depressions, they will keep growing in a negative mind, and also they think their life is only surrounded with violence and use violence to solve problem, and also they will never sense the love from their friends or family even more. This kind of case getting more chance to have a mental illness like schizophrenia, traumatized. So even 35% have a suicide attempts. So I think we should, it's time for take care about the family violence. So Adrian will talk about the rest of the point of the wellness.
I'm Leong Ho Laam, and I thanks Ken for talking about physical and psychological problems. And I'll start with the intellectual parts. We have found that there are direct and indirect effects on children intellectual functioning due to domestic violence. Their brain development will be affected, which leads to a poor verbal and visual spatial abilities. Victims doesn't have a comforting environment to study, and they fail to develop talent skills. In social aspects, we can see that the victim is lack of social support and tough to express situation to others. No sense of connection and belonging is developed, and victims cannot develop a functional and helpful support system. Adverse child experience (ACE) will increase the chance of social problems like violence, drugs, crimes. The more ACE occurs, the more chance to participate violence in further futures. In spiritual aspects, there are 3 major problems. The first one is low self-esteem. The second one is low intimacy and anxiety and depression problems. The third one is psychological losses from traumas. In this case, we can see that the victim has already lost faith in most intimate people as their parents abuse them. Spiritual Experience Index is an index that can measure spiritual maturity. Victims reported to have a lower score, which leads to their attitudes towards spirit is less mature, which may easily develop a spiritual crisis. In environmental problems, the background of the family is low competence and it is in an unstable paid jobs. Parents do not have adequate source to homes and kids, and the kids may feel unsafe and annoyed. Moreover, parents' working pressure exceeds. The parents may simply impose negative thoughts to children, and children consistently accept huge pressures will have no way to relieve. Next, we are going to talk about how nurses fit into the healthcare system. Thank you, Carly.
Thank you, Adrian. I'm Lam I Cheng. Health promotion can provide opportunity to nurse fit into the healthcare system. According to the International Council of Nursing 2010, the nursing's role include the promotion of health as well as education. It is the key of nursing's role. Therefore, nurse is key provider of giving education in prevent health care practice in community. So, health promotion is a process of getting attention to people to improve and control over their health. In the case of domestic violence, nurse can provide primary and community care environment, the aim of promote family health. The Nursing Council of Hong Kong 2015 stated that home visits can develop a function in nurse practice as well as enhance access of their nursing professional skill. But unfortunately, married case has been occurring. So health promote not only change the mind of the married parents but also avoid other cases occurring in the community. Because NATO and Well 2016 claimed that primary and community care prevention is more important than the treatment. So in the health relief model in family violence is a model that can generate a program to change one habit. When perceived that he or she is susceptible to be family violence perpetrator. As you can see in the upper left corner, married parents have high risk to susceptible to be family violence perpetrator due to the low socio-economic state or psychological factor. So therefore, the health relief model can reduce the risk of developing to family violence perpetrator. In here, focus on the program activity. There are 6 parts in health relief model. First, perceived susceptibility. The implication that men believe they could be a criminal if they beat their family member as well as cause many problems by doing a potential perpetrator risk to know more their risk. Second, perceptive subversity. One understands being a perpetrator is a horrible and undesirable thing and will destroy family structure. So in the activity, nurse can showing a news about consequences, such as a marriage case. Also, in the perceived benefit, they will understand that do good or do no harm as a family member can get more respect, love, and generate a great family. In this part, can provide opportunity to children wife panel about what is good father or good parents. Next, perceived barrier. Once afraid may lost family state of non-violent. The activity can provide a way to be a one show how can speak out the barrier to let everyone to understand. Due to action, one's permit to train with poster and emotion training event, so the poster, booklet, and leaflet can cue them not to be violent. Lastly, self-efficacy. The train can make them to believe they can do it and practice. For example, emotional training, by education and role play. It can confident in man's ability to successfully management their bad emotion without violence. So that is the health relief model. Now I'll pass the next session to Jessica.
Thank you, Carly. I'm Liu Pui Shan, Jessica. Now I will talk about the interventions towards Mary. It will divide into 4 parts, which is assessment, encouragement, referral, and education. We will base on transpersonal caring theory to talk about interventions. Based on the theory, it will have a development of a helping trust relationship towards Mary and a promotional and acceptance of negative feelings expression. Therefore, first, when we assess the mental status of Mary, we may understand her situation, which lets us discover any negative emotions and listen about her violence experience. And second, we will assess if Mary have any physical trauma. During the assessment, we need to ensure the interview's privacy and make sure Mary is away from the abuser. The second intervention is to educate Mary. We will talk to Mary about what is healthy relationship and which can help her learn from the abusive experience. Also, we will educate her how to self-management, as Mary may have some injuries like broken bones, which need time to heal. The third intervention is encourage Mary. We will encourage Mary to express her concerns and fears regarding environment and management by questioning and provide explanations and communications. And this can provide an opportunity for Mary to release feelings as to reduce the chance of having anxiety. And now, I will pass it to Brian to talk about the remaining interventions.
Thank you, Jessica. And I am Lam Long Fung Brian. For the follow-up next, we will refer Mary to other professionals when needed. First is the dietitian. This helps in establishing individual dietary needs, provide food and nutrition information, and support Mary to improve her health. Second is the social worker, which provide community service. It can help to solve the problem Mary will encounter in her daily life. And the third is psychological console. It provides emotional support and when dealing with the family violence helps to reduce the anxiety. For the abuser, we will refer to the community agents which provide supporting group and parenting classes. It provides education of parenting skills in order to promote an optimal environment for the children. And the second is abuser education service. It helps to change the violence behavior and discover the reason behind the violence. Try to avoid and help the abuser to get rid of it. And it is important to explain all the treatment and procedure to Mary. It can preventing fear or anxiety and make her feel comfort. And the last but not least, education the public by having up an education talk in school and committee. It will explain what is violence and the impact of violence, providing some ways to maintain a good relationship to each others. Violence is a public health issue. Having up an education talk can help to promote a culture of non-violence. To sum up, when experienced physical maltreatment is an awful action, more negative event, more disadvantage to health. The continuing needs for the family violence support service and the communication method is slightly alleviate the problem, and remember, do not free up violence to family. Thank you.